We missed the Den of Kings that happened a couple weeks ago. The game was saying a lot of interesting things. I wanted you guys to hear it. He's essentially getting some revelation on how he's treated women and his need for sexual fulfillment and all that kind of stuff. So I want to hear your take on what he's saying here.
I'm not gonna cheat on my girl today. I'm just watching because I know I'm gonna get my rocks off watching the, and then after I watch it. Yeah, not today, man.
Oh, okay, all right.
Come on, man. Hey, Dion, get him. No, but after, I watch the get my rocks up, I don't be thinking about no woman. You know what I'm saying? For about a week, 2 weeks. So sometimes that works. Other times is that, I always throw it to Mac because, we came up in the same circle. It's like sometimes you be thinking you want to have sex with a woman so bad, one that's not your girl or your main or whatever, right? And then you do it, and as soon as you done, you like, how do I get her out of here? I feel so bad. Where's my girl? When a woman, whether it be my girl or a woman I've dated in the past, tell me that, you ain't, or, this ain't right, they ain't never lied to me. It's all about accountability once you face yourself. Right. Once you face yourself, or once you face God, or once you look in the mirror, right. I can't, when you're doing that, when you live in that type of lifestyle, I'm not even in the mirror that long because I'm too real with myself. Because I start better than you. Exactly. So I look in the mirror and be like, you anxious, and get on. Because I'm ducking that fade with the mirror because these people all the time, man, like
Yeah.
What's he going through?
You know what's so interesting is Scripture tells us that that God has placed a conscience in us, like you see that in Romans, and I believe what he's sharing is that God fearing conscience, not like God fearing that he's a Christian, but like that conscience is convicting him of something he's doing wrong, even though he's doing other things wrong, to not do something else he deems as even more wrong.
Right.
So in his mind, he thinks that, man, if I look at porn, that's not wrong. I'm actually doing something good, which is not good, so I don't step out on somebody. But what God is calling us to is not just, hey, a moral conscience, a lesser evil. He's calling us to a greater good, which is to die to self, which is to, like, not look at porn. Like, don't look at porn too, but also love. I don't know if he's married or whatever, but love your wife well. You know what I'm saying? Like, like be faithful and like not be lustful. So I think he's, like someone running a race. He in the middle of his race trying to figure it out. And I don't know what Kirk is gonna say to him, but yeah.
I didn't see the whole thing he did. What did Kirk say?
I don't know. He changed. It sounded like he changed the subject. I cut that part out. I don't know
because his testimony is a strong testimony. Gonna help that in that situation.
Yeah.
Oh no, I feel like when I heard that, I can remember. I ain't saying he a Christian. I remember early on in my walk, I kind of thought like that. Like, man, I ain't having sex. I might watch a little. Know what I'm saying? And and you really think like that. You really think the less. If you really think you're doing a good job, you know what I'm saying? Like you really improving. And I also saw where he was talking about, man, how you'll have a woman and you think about, man, if I just have sex with this woman over here and do this, do that, man, I'll be straight. But after you do it, you're looking like, man, like get away from me. And it's really just a deception of the enemy, making you feel like you just got to have certain stuff. Yeah. And what I've learned just in my time walking with the Lord is like that little pain you feel, that from self-control, you want something so bad, like that's a whole lot better than the pain of regret from following through with some stuff that you should not have been doing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you end up losing or jeopardizing something that was real good for you because your flesh is never going to be satisfied. You're just desiring to please your flesh instead of desiring to please the Lord. And it's like he might not even understand that's what's going on, but it's just that's that wrestling match between the spirit and the flesh. And it's like the flesh is saying, man, like, I mean, when I used to smoke weed and drink every day, so when I came home at a certain time, I'm used to just rolling one up and drinking. But my inside, my spirit, man, was like, nah, we need to do that no more. But my flesh is like, man, hey, what's up? What we doing? And it's that constant battle. And then some days you give in because you feel like you just had to have it. But then once you do it, you feel like a loser. You're
terrible.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man. So I hope that tug of war, that wrestling match that he's having, that like bro was saying, like I hope you realize like neither one of these is a good option. Like the best option is getting your life right with the Lord and choosing Him over both of them.
Yeah, I was about to ask that question. How do you talk to people who don't subscribe to the faith about decisions like this? Because obviously he's caught in something where he is now. Back in the day, that was fulfillment for him to have sex with multiple girls and different things. But now he's starting to feel like, because I've seen other stuff where he's saying like, I feel empty. Like when you get to that point, it's like.
Now it's psychological. Now it's like that. So I would ask him like, okay, the emptiness you feeling, why do you feel that? Then I'd be like, okay, this thing that's telling you that this is wrong, this feeling that you're getting that you shouldn't be doing this, where is this coming from? And then I'll be like, how did you get to that? Like, what caused you to believe what you believe? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're saying you're basing your life off of this, you ought to be able to give me reasons why or show me some concrete. Like I say I'm a Christian, and I can tell you why I'm a Christian. I can show you in the Word. I can show you where my faith lies. So you just ask people those questions. All it is simply apologetics or outreach. Is like you don't make dogmatic statements. You just ask questions and allow people to answer their own questions. Then most of the time what you realize is they don't even really know why they're doing what they're doing. Yeah. They're really looking for an answer that nobody's really taking time to try to show them.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying how they believe that, they're a Christian, but they believe like different religions can, and I could have got, oh man, they're going to hell, but I just start showing them in the Word, saying like, hey, this is why we believe this way. Because if I can show you something, if you say you're a Christian, that means you believe the Bible. If you say you're a Muslim, that means you believe whatever you believe, right? Yeah. So if you profess to be a Christian, then that means you go along with the Bible. If I show you what the Bible says, you know what I'm saying? So what you got to say about it? If I give you my opinion, who cares about my opinion?
Opinion don't matter over the
If
Word.
I show you the Word, now you got something to hold on to that you profess, you say you live by. So what you got to do is get to the person's root, like get to the core of it. Why do you believe what you believe? Who told you that? How'd you come across that? And then, okay, if you believe this and you still have a feeling of emptiness on the inside, that means it's something else. There's more to it. It's something that you're missing. And then now I have an open door to present something to them for them to think about in the process, as opposed to just saying you wrong, you going to hell, and try to shove it down their throat. Allow them to answer the questions on their own.
Yeah. But the truth is, the emptiness is there by design. The things that give you that urge, that feeling you got to have it, they cannot satisfy you. They're not capable of satisfying you. Good. The hole is there. The emptiness is there to point you to the one who can. It's impossible for these things to ever satisfy you. So I think that's your open door with people when they start to feel like this. Yeah. Is that what you're experiencing is grace. The fact that you can feel the emptiness is grace. Because some people can't. Yeah. They're cold. They're callous. Yeah. If he's allowing your heart to feel this, then you have an opportunity here. Like let's dig into it. I think something is happening with Game because he kept talking about this. He went on Big Boy's show later and said this.
I was still having like not random, but like you talk to a woman, you take her out, y'all get intimate, and about 2 or 3 times in a row, within a 30-day period, I was feeling empty, and I had like suicidal thoughts after having sexual relations with certain women. And I'm not suicidal. I don't want to kill myself. I didn't even want to kill myself then when I thought about it. But I was like, why do I feel so dark? And when I say suicidal thoughts, I wasn't like looking at a gun like, I'm going to end it today. It was just like, why is my mind in a dark place? And it was, and the first time I didn't notice. Second time I didn't notice. Third time I was like, I think I know what it is. I seen an interview or something on the internet, and somebody was talking about energy, intimacy, like, pardon me, little guy, like retention and like, you can't just be entering everybody's body or releasing your energy into other people, just anybody's body. And there is a chemistry between two people, like, you and your wife. You guys been together for so long. And so that energy is what drives you, what got your kid in college, was making your daughter personality glow. And so there was certain times in my life, because everything ain't peaches and cream, certain times in my life, even with my children, there's a little disconnect. I could be there every day, but like, am I all the way emotionally and mentally available?
I'm gonna say soul time, man. I think that's what that is. When you feeling, when you are, because when people don't talk about what soul ties are, when you come together with somebody and you having sexual relationship, like he's saying, like you going inside somebody. So y'all both are coming together to do it, becoming one, and doing a sacred act that God is like, this should be just for marriage. So when you do this outside of the will of God, you may be carrying on to some. I mean, we you may be attaching some demonic stuff to you while you going. Because I mean, we talk about this in the Word of God. Sexual sin is a sin that harms the body.
You're hurting yourself.
You're hurting yourself. Yeah. So if you this person is not your wife, so you are having sex with her. You don't know what's in her body that you may attract.
I remember one time
to your soul.
Just being real. I remember before I was in Christ and I was having intercourse with with a woman, and I remember looking at her face, and her face just became like disfigured, like some wild type stuff. I'm like, I used a couple words that weren't Christian. You know what I'm saying? And,
words that weren't Christian.
And I'm like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? So I seen that mug, and it kind of shook me up for a minute. And then I remembered like just having like kind of crazy dreams or whatever. And then I actually dealt with a girl not too long after that who was demonically possessed. Like real deal, had to like cast a demon out of her in the living room and like crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it was like I saw how real that stuff was, and I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it do make you a lot more careful about who you deal with and what's going on. And what you're saying is exactly right. Because I remember this guy was telling me, he's like, you're becoming one with people all over town. He's one of you over here, one of you over there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, when you're spreading yourself that thin, you become exposed to a lot of different things. And when you're exposed to those different things, now these doors open up in your life. You wonder why you're getting attacked. You wonder why you're struggling, why you're depressed, why you're discouraged. Like you becoming one with all these people.
Yeah.
And like,
I saw a study the other day that you can find traces of other people's DNA in other children from prior intercourses. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's scary. Wow. It gets really scary. But one thing I'll say about the game is I feel like whoever has access to him to like share the gospel, like, it's now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can see, like, he is saying, yo, I'm empty. I don't know why I feel this way. It's like, that's like ripe to like give him the gospel, like, you know, I'm saying, to change his whole trajectory. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a man of influence, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like top 50 probably greatest rapper. You know what I mean? Like, so. Yep. Yeah.
I'm just joking.
No, that's facts though.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
but the true gospel.
Yeah.
That's
the problem. If somebody, if a true disciple doesn't step up and take an opportunity, somebody else will.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Somebody else will be in his ear.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. I gotta see somebody and when he was talking, when he's talking, I could easily hear somebody calling him, another rapper who was talking that talk, calling him and like, yeah, you're on the right path. Let me tell you some more information.
Yeah, it's because of white girls. That's what it was. You know what I mean? Saying like just tell them some nonsense.
Yeah.
And the only thing that he said that I'm worried that people may get the wrong message is that it's almost like he's saying certain girls are the reason for my emptiness. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any of them, they could be Christian or Christians, and you're still gonna feel like this. Yeah. It's not just that a demonic girl put some on you. It's that you're living outside of the will of God, period. Right. And that's what's going to make you feel empty. So it's like he's almost there, but I don't know if he fully. I would have to hear more to see if he's at the doorstep.
Man, I hope behind the scenes, I don't want to assume I hope behind the scenes Kurt really witnessing to these folks, man. I know sometimes you might not say certain things on the camera because you don't want to embarrass people. You know what I'm saying? I really hope, because it's like, if somebody's struggling or going through with something, you don't want to embarrass them or air them out on the show to make it seem like they belittle them. But I hope behind the scenes, like.
But wouldn't that be more impactful on camera?
Man. Some stuff don't need to be on camera.
I'm just telling your testimony.
My thing is I think it's like case by case, because you know how certain people in the body of church, like there's some people that kind of need the simple corny whatever, and then you got your like trap theology, like you're like, oh, we like at his Bible study in college, he did one verse for the 2-hour span, and we're like, dog, are we gonna, it's like, there's different, so I guess it's in your walk too. But I wanted to piggyback off what he said about how the game got influenced. So I watched this thing where he was like, your sin, or like the thing that pulls you the most is actually the counterweight, like the counter thing to your gift. Yeah. So with the word influence, intimacy with other women, where you're putting that energy and time into fulfilling yourself, right?
Right.
It's actually the same thing as like the same gift. Like he got a gift on the other side. Is like intimacy of the words you write, the songs you make. Like people are listening to like My Life, like the song My Life by him. Like I heard that and I was like, yo, I'm from the West Coast, and it's like if all the energy went that way instead of like stuff, because he don't know the Lord. I don't know how to like put somebody who doesn't know Jesus and judge him by the standards.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So how I think what I'm thinking more of is like they're seeing it from like, why am I tired or I'm not performing as well? But we see his soul. For him, it's more like he got, once somebody like opens that door, I think then those conversations can happen. But you know, all of us once got saved, and it's one of these, you know.
I had the whole Kurt saying something to these folks, man. Because if he don't, it's a wasted. I was like, just to come in and just say, man, I feel you, dog. I'm gonna holler at you later on. Like, it's such a wasted opportunity, bro. So I don't want to say he's not, but I hope he is.
I think he is. I met him. We met him one time. That John was crazy.
That was awesome.
And that man, he a real deal, man. He's a real deal.
I don't want to assume.
So from that small moment that we got to interact with him, it was like, wow, this man is the real deal. So I think he is. And then when I hear like other people talk about Kirk, it's just like they can go to him to like ask questions about God because of they know what he stand on, and then they see the fruits of what he's done. So
guys, I know he don't want to embarrass people on camera, and then also I would never want to assume that he's not saying nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My only reason I wrestle with it sometimes because I heard him say certain stuff like he don't want to be forgotten about, and I see certain things he do which appear to be for attention and whatnot. But I think, in a way, he's probably just trying very hard to be relatable and create a space where people can feel like they can come talk to him. He don't want to seem like the Christian that's up on the mountaintop. He want to seem like, hey, like I'm here, I'm normal, I'm regular, I'm going through. You know, so I'm really trying to pray for him on this journey because he's
there's
really
value to that. Yeah,
he's really. I feel like he's trying to do it in a way. And I think sometimes when you're the first person, or not even the first person, but somebody who's trying to spearhead something, a lot of your mistakes and everything are going to be on the forefront. So it's easy for us to pick you apart and see everything that you do wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping, man, just his intention and behind the scenes, there's really some fruitful conversation and stuff being had.
Yeah, I'm struggling with it too because in a private conversation, if I was in a room full of brothers and they were cursing and talking about this and that, you would want them to be 100% themselves and be honest to hear what they're actually going through. But I would hope that the bend of the conversation would be towards holiness, right? Like it should feel like they're recognizing what you're trying to lead them towards.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I guess the game feels like what he was saying was in that direction, but I would hope that Kirk has a presence enough to where everyone knows there's more to this than just doing better. Right.
Yeah.
This is about leading you to the one who can solve this for you, period. It's not just about better behavior. So that's the only thing. I just want the conversations to bend more towards that direction of there's only one solution to your problem here. I mean, we could talk about some symptoms and stuff, but the actual answer is you have to get to know Jesus. You have to commit your life to him. That's it. That's it.
I wonder how much he's heard that too. Like, you know, when like somebody has a position like in celebrity or anywhere, there's always somebody like, hey, like sharing the gospel. I don't know. Like, I wonder. And then he's heard it so much, but I guess Kirk Franklin, it's like the messenger matters too, I guess.
Yeah.
Because that's Kirk.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I say ask questions, man. That's why that's really an effective method when you're witnessing to somebody or like, you know, doing outreach and stuff, because when you're they already know where you stand. So it's already expected that you're going to push your position or your point of view or your worldview on them. But when you ask those questions, it shows an intentionality to try to get to know this person, what they believe, why they believe it, what's your story, why do you feel the way you feel. I'm really making an investment into you as a person to show you that I care about who you are as a person first before I try to push my point of view on you. Yeah. And then two, how many times have we seen situations where you can come and tell somebody something, but they really don't believe it until they come to the realization on their own.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why it's important to ask questions, and a lot of people just kind of walk it out on their own time. And I think we got to get over the whole aspect of like, I want you to receive what I'm saying right now and turn your life around right now. They don't always happen that way.
But I mean, I don't. I'm sorry, bro.
Good.
I'm sorry. I just think for some of us, sometimes your testimony and what God is putting in your heart to say to somebody on camera could witness to millions of people that's dealing with, I'm having sex with women and I feel empty. What is this emptiness? What is this? Not saying behind the scenes.
You ain't got to do a whole sermon.
Yeah, you don't. But you just be like, that emptiness is because God has more for you. God, and not more for you like stuff, but more of Him.
You don't even have to.
Yeah.
If people are afraid of being too preachy on a show like this, it's just. Let me just tell you, I was dealing with that too. Yeah. I struggle with porn as well. Let me tell you what God did with me. He made me. He made me realize that what I was seeking for, I couldn't find. Yeah. And what gave me relief was when I got closer to Him. You know what I'm saying? Just tell your story then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But just to be like,
maybe he did. I didn't watch it.
Because he's talked about that openly, right?
Yeah. So maybe he did, but I don't mind the freeness of the conversation. Yeah. Like you can be free to say what you actually really feel. I'm just saying, like, hopefully the reason he's having these is not just mental health. Hopefully the reason he's having these conversations is to lead them back to the source.
I think it's two. I think it's mental health and the culture.
There's a shift, like, I feel.
I think when you think Kurt Franklin, you think gospel music. You know what I'm saying? Off the bat, you think about Stomp. That's what people gonna think about. Oh man, this that. So it's like I'm hoping that him inviting them off the bat is already setting the tone that this is a man of God. Exactly. And I'm hoping he's following up on that. Like I said, I don't think every conversation should be had on camera, because if you really start getting to the nuts and bolts, you know what I'm saying, like the roots of why people feel the way they feel, sometimes that's some real intimate stuff they might not be ready to talk about on camera. So I think behind the scenes in a safe place, allow them to process and discuss that. And we already know when you come in contact with Jesus, like anybody who ever came in contact with Jesus, their life was never the same. Yep. And everybody who came in contact with Jesus, someplace, somewhere, you're going to tell folks about it. Yep. That's what we commanded to do. Right. So if the work is done behind the scenes to where they get into an intimate relationship with Christ, they'll come out and tell what happened. They'll come out and say, man, I was